Okay, that was just a real quick training video, impromptu, so I didn't set it up properly. But I was walking the dog and happened across, so I'm going to explain what I've just done here. Happened across the snake, pulled out the phone so I could, because I've been worried about Miss Chocolate Chip here being safe around snakes, because I don't think she'd ever seen one. So here we're walking a path, we come across a snake. Now, she didn't notice it at first, but I'm worried about it because when she sees lizards or even big cockroach type things or little frogs that move, she wants to get them. And so I've been worried that, what if she sees a snake? Now, I don't know what kind of snake this is. I don't think it's poisonous, but I really don't know. But anyways, so I've been worried, okay, what happens if she sees a snake? So we come across a snake, and as you can tell, the snake's sitting here, and he's upset about us, or she, somebody. And so what I did is preemptively, I put my level up high. Now, I'm the first one that preaches that the e-collar is a great communication tool and not a fantastic punishment tool. And I say it's not a fantastic punishment tool because the dog doesn't always get it, when it's just as punishment. And not only that, not that the dog doesn't get it, but so much of training is about teaching the dog coping mechanisms, right? Here's how you cope with, Chip, come here. I just gave her another correction there, and I'm going to explain why in a second. Come here. Plutz. Good girl. I know you're not feeling great right now, are you? So a working level for Chip is maybe 10 or 15 or something like that. There goes the steak. See you later, buddy. So I'm at, what am I at? 76. So significantly higher. So anyways, what I was saying is normally we use the e-collar more as a tool for communication rather than punishment. And to me, that's a very important distinction. Because most of dog training is communicating things that we don't like. I always talk about dog training in terms of addition and subtraction. We add the things we like, we subtract the things that we don't like. And when you look at training, almost all the training that we typically do is addition. The subtraction stuff, I'm talking about jumping, chewing, nipping. Like that stuff's actually the easy stuff. In fact, we're gonna move away from the snake now. Come on. And so the subtraction is the easy stuff. The addition is the hard stuff. And the addition is, teaching the dog, like I say, to cope with their surroundings. So addition is, instead of lunging aggressively at the other dog, heel by my side. Instead of running towards the door and barking at the person coming in the door, do a downstay. Chip, you're getting too far. Instead of whatever. So we want to add behaviors that end up subtracting the stuff we don't like, because we want to teach the dog, here's how you cope with other dogs. Here's how you cope with the doorbell ringing. Here's how you cope with whatever. And so sometimes, we've got a jogger here. Let's kind of get out of the way. Come here, Chip. Come. Let's. Good girl. And so when we're teaching the dog to cope, we want to use addition. So like I say, almost always when we're doing addition, we can use very low levels of stimulation on the e-collar. And it's not about, blasting the dog. It's all about teaching a concept. And so, come on. And so like I say, that's where 90, 95% of the time, maybe some of our dogs even 100% of the time, it's all very low stimulation, and it's a teaching, it's a teaching thing rather than a punishment thing. We use low-level stimulation. We say, hey, when you come back, when I call you, that low-level stimulation kind of goes away. Or, hey, when you sit, this happens, or when you down, that happens. And none of it is like, high-level correction or anything like that. Now, the snake, however, the snake is an object that I want the dog to understand. You've got to, you have to stay away. That can kill you. And so I want the dog to hate the snake, essentially, such that the next time she encounters a snake, she says, oh my gosh, snakes cause me pain. I don't want anything to do with that. right? Does that make sense? And so you see the difference here? I got another jogger. Chip, come here. Good girl. Come here. Good girl. Platz. And so, like I said, I want the dog to actually hate the snake and just have an extreme aversion towards the snake, such that the next time she sees one, maybe she even like, well, let me get out of here, you know, as quick as can be. So what happened is that first correction, when she just saw the snake is when it happened. And so I was sitting there for, I don't know, X amount of seconds. She didn't even notice the snake. I did. She'd actually passed it first and not noticed it. But the second she noticed it and made any sort of forward motion, I didn't say a word. It was just pop, 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 you know, several quick taps on the button. I don't know how many it was, 3 or 4. And she was like, you know, I don't know if you noticed, but like I say, it was painful. The e-collar that we use, you know, the level that we use is almost never ever painful, except for rare occasions like this, right? And so it was painful. You know, she's like, ow. And so I sat around, I waited, and the second I saw that she showed any sort of interest, so when her head went back, so I corrected her 3 times. When her head went back and she was looking at it, she was probably 6-7 feet away, but she was just looking at it and had some intent. You know, like her ears were up. Like if she had been looking at it with like her ears relaxed and just kind of like, do, whatever, I see a snake, I wouldn't have done anything. But she looked at it, her ears were up even a little bit, and I hit it once or twice more, like pop, pop, you know, something like that. And then again, a minute or 2 later, I saw that she was kind of looking at it because it was starting to move again, and pop, pop, you know, another couple quick corrections. And so that right there, I don't know if that will be the entire solution, but it very well could be. That could be enough to where the next time she sees a snake, she'll be like, oh my gosh. And the next time it could be a rattlesnake or something like that. Like I said, I don't know what that one was. But the next time it could be a rattlesnake, and I want her thinking, whoa, I hate that, let me get away from it as soon as I can. Because maybe we're off in the brush or something like that, and I can't even see that the snake is there. I want her to have such a strong association of negativity with that snake that it has nothing to do with me. So you'll notice, if you go back, I didn't say a word. I didn't say no, I didn't say leave it, I don't say anything because I don't even want to be a part of it. I want her to think, when I see that snake, it hurt. It had nothing, you know, Pops over here didn't say anything. I saw the snake and it hurt me. And so I just want to stay away from snakes because snakes hurt you. And so that's, hopefully at a certain point I'll see one more snake and we can, you know, probably not today. Snakes are, it's not like you see them that often, right? But at a certain point, you know, hopefully we'll see another snake, and I want to see her reaction. If the correction was strong enough, there's a very likely chance that from here on out, it'll be so strong that she'll want to avoid snakes from here on out. But hopefully I can set up another scenario just like that, where we see a snake, because I'm willing to bet that if one didn't do it, 2 will. 2 snakes, meaning, you know, if she gets a high-level correction with 2 different snakes, she's just going to be like, okay, for the next 10 years of my life, I hate snakes, I'm going to leave them alone. So, I mean, there are trainers that offer snake avoidance training. I think that's great. Sometimes it's hard to come by, you know, that type of stuff. So that's why I wanted to make this quick video here, showing people that, hey, if you encounter a snake, there's a way to deal with this. Now, I'm talking about snakes, but it could be the same bobcat, coyote. I mean, it could be the same for any of these things. Now, I wouldn't do this for dogs. We don't want to create, like if your dog has dog aggression, I wouldn't do this for dogs. And that's a whole other story about, yeah, that's a whole other topic. We don't want the dog to hate other dogs. We don't want your dog to have such a negative association with other dogs, run away from other dogs, things like that. But a snake, potentially like cattle, scorpion, coyote, bobcat, you know, any of these types of things to where we want the dog to forever dislike and actually hate that thing, such that they even get a whiff of it, that they want to move away from it or run, you know, I wouldn't say run away, but, you know, move away from it, then, good girl, then this is how we want to do it. High-level correction, just a few quick taps while the dog is showing any sort of interest, because mentally the dog is starting to go down the path of, should I chase that thing? And so any first interest, pop, 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 any repeat interest, pop, 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 and help the dog realize, like, nope, this is not something you want. Cats, same thing, I'm sorry. house cats. You know, when dogs are trying to kill house cats, we do the same thing, and this is very effective. Very rarely do we need to use more than one cat to get the idea across to the dog. So anyways, sorry about the quality of this video. Like I say, it was kind of impromptu, just walking past, and I was like, oh shoot, a snake. Let's do some training. And as long as we're doing it, let's film it. So let me know if you have questions, but yeah, this is something to think about as far as snake avoidance type training.